click on the subscribe button, and press the bell icon, to never miss any updates.
إن الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Brothers and sisters, can I have attention for 5 seconds, please? Only 5 seconds. Inshallah, you can enjoy. The appetizer is fine, but would you be kindly a little quiet so we can get the message across? Jazakumullahu khairan, ahsanallahu ilaykum. So start to the point before our scholars come in. Before our scholars come in, I have a quick introduction about what this whole thing is about. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Jazakumullah khairan. It is important to act like professionals. Tawheed. Now today's discussion is about a Tawheed foundation. What is this whole thing is about? It is about our youth and our vision about the youth. What do you want to do? I know some of you know about this, kind of boring, I understand that. But some people do not know about it. Can you give them a chance to listen and watch the information so they can benefit from it? And we have two sheikh here. They probably don't know much details about the thing. It helps them to formulate their thoughts, exactly what the whole thing is about. So please, pay attention, only 15 minutes. We need to know what we're getting into. Jazakumullah khairan, our two scholars here, they are taking the time to watch. At least give respect to them, if not me. That's fine. Jazakumullah khairan. Our youth, our vision, what is the plan? What is the issue? Issue is the Muslim youth. What are we doing about it? We cooperating and supporting the youth. Why are we doing it? Because this is an obligation. Dr. Tahir Hafizahullah, he already gave an introduction that you are obligated about your children. That's why you're doing it. How are we doing it? By culturing the generation by education and training. What is happening now? We are buying a property for that very purpose, because you cannot train a generation in free space. Hello? We cannot train a generation in free space. You need location, you need human resources, you need finances, you need tools and support. That's step number one. That's what you want to do. Now, this side of the sisters, mashallah, was a little quiet now. Now, brothers are taking the pace. Now, would you please, calm it down a bit so we can talk? Thank you. Muslim youth, what kind of challenges are we facing? Challenges are social, moral, and religious challenges. Yes, social challenges are important. Yes, moral challenges are extremely important. But what is the most important among all of them? The religious challenges of the population. Our scholars will talk about it. I do not want to jump into their territories, right? But one thing you need to understand, many young generation Muslims, yes, they are living Islam. Yes, they are. If you didn't know, today you can know about it. Now, to understand our kids are very special and important, without going into the details, do they know about Islam? Most likely not. Are they connected to Allah? Perhaps not. Do they know their high status in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? When hadith will explain the whole detail, عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم سبعة يظلهم الله في ظله يوم لا ظل إلا ظله الإمام العادل والشاب النشاب بعبادة الله كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم أخرج الإمام البخاري. What is the point here is, out of the 7 classes of people will be honored by Allah in the day of judgment, a terrible day, by the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, exclusive privilege. One of them is the young men and women who live like Muslims, and they are not doing so. And that is a wake-up call, and this is the whole objective of this foundation to work with. Okay, now if you want to know quick, the state of the youth, about 20% of the Muslim young men are living the religion, plus minus, and the Sheikh will give you further details. My point of pain and suffering is this, brothers and sisters. Now I think the temperature is rising a bit. Can we calm it down, please? Jazakumullah khairan. Nothing wrong eating, but making noise is kind of problematic, right? Honestly, I don't go to entertaining places, and never, ever go to a place to entertain. I never went for the last 30 years to any place to play around, joke around. So inshallah, I value my time. I'm sure you do too. Let us use it efficiently. Let us focus, please. Okay. Many parents complain that my children don't listen to me, so on and so forth. Why not? Because they are busy 60, 80 hours a week. A house costs $2 million, mashallah, but at the cost of their children. So cause and effect analysis says there must be a problem somewhere because nobody is there to taking care of them. And that's a fundamental problem. Now, second point, Shaitan is working 24/7, and we come maybe once a month to talk to our children. Obviously, they got control over the children. That's pretty obvious. Now, next point, we strived for the dunya, we got it. Perhaps we lost the akhirah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, we have no time for the children, we lost them. Now, learning from the failure, why are we doing this? Many people ask me, brothers, in the line, brothers, all due apology, I'm going to say it's a tough talk now, we're grown-ups, we're in a line to eat, fine. There's no big deal, but we need to calm it down. Take it easy, I understand you're eating, fine. In a line, adults, we should deal like that. طيب, أحسن الله إليكم. Yes, many Muslim iftar parties in the masajid and Eid holidays and gathering, weekend schools, they're not working. Why they're not? Because this problem is of a different type. It can't be solved in iftar parties or weekend schooling. It doesn't work this way. Now, many people said number of the masajid in New York City, huge, 200 plus. Still not working. Why not? Most of the masajid, I've been in New York about 30 years, came in my teenage time, right? Many masajid out there, total disconnect with the young generation. Many reasons for it. One of the primary fundamental reasons, the people who designed the masajid, the founding fathers of the masajid, or the ai in the masajid, in most cases, they are perhaps the immigrants, and they're still thinking 30 years back, and this generation is 30 years ahead of time. He's still using computer 486, and they have quad-core computers. Good morning, it's not going to work. This is a wrong approach in our principles. You can have 50 million masajid, retired people will come, but the young generation is partying. It is not going to work. That's why somebody had to step up, and people here are trying to do it. And jazakumullah khairan for you to help the cause of Allah and His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This generation is living in the past. They need to be current, live today, and plan for a future. Once we see something, as they say in this country, you see something, you got to say something. You can't be sitting idle. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam also said something like this: "Man ra'a minkum munkar falyughayyir biyadihi, fa in lam tastati' fa bilisani." I'm going to stop there. So we're saying in mouth now, and we have to do some action by hand. We're trying to do it. There's no money to do it. And today's event is to produce and generate those finance so we can help Allah and His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whereas they're independent of their creation. Inna Allah ghaniyun lil alamin. We have to help Him, even though He's independent of His creation. طيب. Now, we need a new center to work with, design some counter mechanism to protect the children from the evil effect of the social norm we have here. And this is the plan to do. Now, since not too many people coming up, or those who came up for certain generations, certain culture, and this population of Indian subcontinent, we're not limited to that. However, their primary focus came about by observing decay of their own children. So they said that we need to do something, and this is the effort. Effort is started. This is Tawheed Foundation, the website for further details, tawheedfirst.org. We have a Facebook site, we have a YouTube channel, a lot of information is there. I kindly request you, if you get a time, please take a look. You can find many detailed information there. Now, this is the organization. It's a non-profit 501c. It is tax deductible organization. I know that you do not donate for the sake of Allah for tax deduction. I know that. Because you have a higher goal, I know that. But fact remains, if something is possible to get benefit out of the system, why not? So if you're giving 100,000, that 100,000 is tax deductible for your information. Now, what are you trying to do? Promote a good education, a culture, bring a facility where children could be trained. One of the things I'm going to point out now. Assalamu alaikum. Now I need some attention. If nowhere else, at least this very moment, I need some attention because this information is important. Very important. Many people says there are many masajid in this culture, that culture have it. So why another one? This is not a masjid where it may work at the masjid as well. But why many masajid in this town, and I've been there too long, and Sheikh Mustafa knows me because I know him about 30 years, Hafizahullah. The point is, many of the masajid, sadly, built upon a manhaj which is not consistent upon the Kitab al-Sunnah. I do not want to argue or debate and dialogue because I'm convinced, I'm a researcher and academic. Inshallah, before I convince myself with something, I do extensive research. And obviously, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alam. Right. So we want to build a generation upon the proper aqidah belief system, far away from shirk, founded upon Tawheed, upon the manhaj of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Salaf Salihin. That's the manhaj. It is not people from India, Bangladesh or Egypt. That's not the message. People from La ilaha illallah. That is the message. Want to build up a generation, irrespective of their ethnic background or culture. Because we all are Muslim, connected by La ilaha illallah. And that is the message we want to give to the people. But guess what? There's many masajid, honestly, they are not into it. Been there, done that. Believe it. And honestly, I have no reason to make up stories. Many masajid in this town, I know it. From the beginning of it. Believe it, from the starting point. Right? But very rare case, 1 or 2 or 4 or 5 masajid you are going to find founded upon the right message. But guess what? They are founded and geared and cultured towards the older generation of people. Professionals, retired people. Right? 30s, 40s and 50s. Yes? What about the teens, 15, 20, 25? What about them? They're still indulging in stories of their country and culture. They're not caring about the new generation. So they're orphan, even though they have entire generation to support them. They're not doing so. So somebody has to do it. This is the starting point, not end of it. Inshallah. So what are you supposed to do now? As they say, like a clock. You need to work like a clock. Don't look at it. Let us work like it. What I mean? Every second you step forward and move forward. Be progressive. Not liberal. I mean be progressive. Move forward, inshallah. Now, what is the plan? We need to find a place, facility for prayers. Will be library, gymnasium, kitchen, tahfiz program, ulumuddin, monthly seminars, and many other social problems will be addressed there. Many form of fashion, including we have in-house Dr. Tahir Hafizahullah. He is a board-certified psychiatrist in the city of New York, right there, who gave the speech before. Just because he dressed up like the sheikh, he's the sheikh and a medical doctor both. So don't make no mistake about it, because we changing the framework of thinking. We changing the framework of thinking. Back in days, people, the clergy class only know about deen, and professionals only go in the time of the funeral to the imam. That days are over. We need to work in a 21st century manner and move forward. And this is the initiative, inshallah, to move forward with that. And that is the dream we have. You know how much it costs to make something like this? We don't have it, I know it. But that's a dream. Every foundation starts with it. I remember late 80s ICNA started in Jamaica, Queens. A rented place. A small place. Now it is widespread. Every dream starts small. But if you have the right plan and sincerity with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَكَانَ حَقٌّ عَلَيْنَا نَصْرُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. It is upon Allah to help, and He is going to help. We need to come forward. That's the message. Now, you will have all these beautiful things, at least in the dream for now. But down the line, inshallah, we're going to have it if you support it. Follow your dreams. What we're doing now for last years, and especially starting this year, Please note, those who came last time here, January the 21st this year. That's where we started. Now we passed about 10 months and 25 days or something like that. Or something to that effect. Not even a year. Alhamdulillah, we are about to get a place. It is sheer the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in addition to that, I must say it. I must say it. It is spearheaded by some sisters. I only taught these few minutes, perhaps zero contribution in this effort, except making da'ah, obviously. I have no contribution except making da'ah. Only the sisters, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect them and all of them, tremendous amount of effort. If I am to write a book in this topic, I would have written a book. The effort the sisters did, phenomenal at the least to say. It is far beyond that. And it's spearheaded by many sisters, including Sister Siddiqa Hafizahullah. Tremendous amount of effort, making thousands of phone calls, begging people to support. Thousands, and literally thousands, not hundreds. I mean thousands, 130 after that. I did not mean, it's a literal expression. She really did call all the sisters, thousands of people. Tremendous amount of work, they're doing it. Can we at least do something? So Day of Judgment, we could be part of the project in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the point. In the past, we did this program starting from here, January 21st. What we've been doing? Sitting down, answer is no. We've been doing something. Starting here, this January 21st, we started this thing. Then we had a program on May 13th in Ramadan in Jackson Heights. Then we had a Hajj program by Dr. Al-Tahir at July 22nd in the summer. Then we had Eid reunion in August 26th in Park in Queens, Corona Park. Then we had another program with the youth in Jamaica, October 28th. And we have many other programs happen without the pictures in the summer in Queens and Long Island. Such a short time, so many activities going on. It is in addition to the online program in every week. Let me repeat. We have online program every week of the year. Every week. Tremendous amount of work going on. We may not know about it, but some people are doing it, and may Allah reward them for that. Now the next program would be in January. We have program for the youth. We're going to start that. There will be registration about that. It is online, the website, the forms are available. Website, the forms are available. You can find the details when you need to, inshallah. Now, back to the dream. Now, back to the dream. We told you what we started, why you're doing it, how are you doing it, what we've been doing for last 10 months. Now, what is the story now? Dreams doesn't work unless somebody work for it. That's how it works. Otherwise, you have a dream, you get up, you feel sad and go to work. Dream to become real must be some constructive effort from the community. From every walks of life, people have to work. Do something for it, and we got to do something about it. So what is the big issue? We don't have a place. So what you do, you float around like homeless. Like homeless, right? You go to Penn Station, New York, you see homeless? We are homeless Muslims. Have no place to start with. This project for the next generation so they can uphold the banner of Islam. So we need a starting place, but don't be too sad. Don't be worried. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, don't worry. فَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَهْزَنُوا. Don't worry. Don't be stressed because Allah is with you. And we found a place. It can hold about 250 people. We can support daily prayer, Jum'ah, Tarawih, weekend classes, youth camps and public seminars in Queens. Right? Unless we close it, we do not want to disclose the address. It would be too funny if it doesn't work out. So we're working with that and we need some money. We tried to buy it for free. Guess what? They said there's nothing for free in this country. We tried that. So can we get it for free? They said, good morning. You need a Starbucks coffee. Bring the coffee and come back with some money. So we are trying to work with that. We got about 300 plus thousands from sisters and brothers. Mostly sisters, by the way. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them for it. You know, it's not about amount of the money. It's not amount of the money. Because I've been into this for a long time. I'm not 100 years old, but quite a long time, close to 30 years. I never seen in my life, and Allah is my witness, I never seen in my life The sisters are so progressive, coming ahead in the cause of deen. That's why my lectures, if you hear from many years ago, 15, 20 years ago, people tell me I always get harsh on the sisters. That's not the case. I love them so much. I want them come close to Allah to go to the paradise. That's why it pains me they're falling back. But this case, the brothers are falling back. Most of the money out of the $300,000, most of the money came from the sisters. This is phenomenal. If I ever write an article, inshallah, I'm going to put into it as a point of reference. These sisters from here gave money for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Without going into details, I need to add another point I forgot. Some sisters sold their gold jewelries. Gold jewelries, they sold it. Another sister in coma, in a hospital, suffering, fighting with her life, donated her gold jewelries. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect him, given hayatun tayyibah. So much effort. Young kids donated $1,000, subhanallah. I feel ashamed to be talking, which I couldn't do. They embarrassed me. Young kid gave $1,000 from the small bank they've been saving, their life savings in the little bank. Eid money, Ramadan money. They gave $1,000. Another sister gave $1,900. Young sisters. People with grey beard couldn't produce it. I'm ashamed of myself, and may Allah forgive me for that. But to appreciate young men and women and the sisters, sorry brothers, you can't get any credit. Why not? Because you didn't earn it. Sorry. But guess what? It's never too late. Never too late. Today is the day you're going to make it up for it. So we don't have to cry later on, Rabbi, لولا أخرتني إلى أجل قريب فصدقكم من الصالحين. Allah, I'm going to die so quick. Give me a little time so I can donate. You don't have to wait for that time. You can donate today, inshallah. So this is the picture of the location. We are working on it. We gave down payments, inshallah. Hopefully by end of January, February, we will get something. And believe it is such a short time, such a result by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because inna Allah yaf'alu ma yurid. He does whatever He pleases. And this is Allah's mercy. And point to note, I have done zero in there. Except this talk, only talker. Talker doesn't do the work. You need to find some walkers who can walk. So today is the day of walking, not talking. You see, this is the place in construction. Now, can I ask you something? You may ask, if you're about to get the place, you may have the money. So why are you begging again? Begging is a habit? That's not the case, by the way. You look at the place, you need carpets, don't you? You need speaker systems, don't you? You need a wudu station, don't you? You need a bathroom, don't you? You need a separation for men and women, don't you? Yes, you do. You don't expect the angels to come in. Another news for you. Good morning again. When Prophet ﷺ came to Badr, angels came, but Prophet had to come first. You have to come first, then Allah's Nasr will come, inshallah. So today is the day. They are working on it. Now finish line is ahead. We have about 300,000. We need 150,000 more to close it, give the carpets, give the speaker system, and a lot of other stuff we got to deal with. That is the thing we're trying to do. We came here, have fun is fine, but objective is never the entertainment. Our entertainment is somewhere else. Today is the work day. Weekend is coming very soon. Wallahu yadukum ila daris salam. Weekend is coming. Now is weekdays. We have to work, right? So donate for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Akramakumullah. And our shuyukh going to start the lecture, starting with Sheikh Mustafa Hafizahullah. He is the Imam and the Vice President of Manhattan Masjid. Anybody who work in the city, you know that is the masjid, 5 floors. City of New York. This is not a remote city in Utah or Minnesota or Tennessee. This is in New York. Heart of the world, the financial district, the 5th floor of the masjid. I know when the masjid was in Warren Street. I know where it started from. I was much young, in my early 20s when I go to the masjid. Now I see 5 floors, and Sheikh Mustafa slept one night, see some angels came build the masjid, right? It didn't work like that. He had to beg many places and work hard for it. The Sheikh, I know him personally. I listened from his lecture at least 20 years when I was in late teens and early 20s. He used to come to Masjid Taqwa. I used to be part of there with Imam Siraj Hafizahullah, a phenomenal speaker. I wanted him to come here today also. I spoke to him. I know him for 30 years, Imam Siraj. I know him very close. Too close. But he has a meeting today in Boston. He couldn't make it. But our 2 sheikhs came in. and they will speak about what we can do about today. And I benefited from the Sheikh. I benefited from him since early 90s. I used to get to his lectures, and every Sunday in Masjid Taqwa. Benefited so much. We have a history. And I know he loved Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet, and he is a relentless soldier for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doing good work and spreading the deen in different places of this country. Akramahullah, may Allah honor him. Tafaddal ya Shaykh, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan for listening. And if I bored you or talked too tough and offended anybody, my apology, nothing personal. Assalamu alaikum.
ITV, Call of Peace, Save Humanity.